Hello, and welcome to another episode of Storytime. I'm Ron Miscavige, I'm your host, and I'm going to be reading you a story today out of a book that I wrote called True Confessions of a Kid. And in the future, there will be other stories I'll read out of another book I wrote called Hideouts for Midgets on the Lam. So, the name of today's story is Tommy Butkiewicz. Let's get into it. This really happened in my teen years in high school. We would frequently go to bars that would serve us beer disregarding our age. One of them was the Frackville Amvets Club. Frackville was the name of a town, and Amvets stands for American Veterans. What qualified you to buy a beer in these clubs was whether or not you had a dime to put on the bar. That was the cost of a glass of beer in those days. This little adventure took place in the dead of winter. The temperature must have been no more than 20 degrees, which didn't seem to bother us nor anyone else who went out bar hopping that night. At any rate, we had our fill of the Amvets, and we were going to go to another bar in the same little town of Frackville called Paul's. Now, let me get the page here. Now, the Amvets was on the third floor of this building, and Tommy Butkiewicz wanted to show off a bit. So he tanked falling down 2 flights of stairs to the astonishment of people entering the club. He was pretty athletic and actually could do this like a stuntman and not get hurt. When he got to the bottom, he just stood up, fixed his tie, and walked out with people gagaing at what he just did. It was very impressive. A little background on Bookie. His nickname. In those days, if your name was Butkiewicz, your nickname was Bookie. Mine was Miscavige. My nickname was Missy. All right. Anyway, back to the story. He was a very good piano player and actually could play the saber dance on the piano. We went to the bar across the street from his house one time, me on the trumpet and him on the piano, and played this for the boozers, and then took up a collection of dimes and quarters for some pocket change. Now, even though he was a good player, he was not a gig player. Here's the story on that. There was an Irish guy in town who was a consummate. I'll give you that again. There was an Irish guy in town who was a consummate bullshitter who somehow promised one of the clubs to get them a big band to play for Russian New Year's. Yes, you read that right. Russian New Year's celebration. A different date than the regular one, about 1 week later. So the Irish guy, whose name I can't recall at the moment, talked to me about maybe getting this band together about a month before the gig. Optimistically, I said I could see what I would do. This was a mistake, since getting 12 guys together with parts and all was next to impossible in that short a period of time. The long and short of it was this. About a week before the gig, I told him it was unreal. There were not 12 guys in town who could do this gig, and I didn't have enough parts. I actually had a few, but that was it. So here's what we did. We had Tommy on piano, Ray Brzicki on drums, never played a gig in his life, and me on trumpet. Our songs would start out at about 100 beats a minute, and by the time we got to the end, they were going around 200. I'm going to interrupt just to give you an example of what I mean. Let's say we're playing a song that went like this. Bo ba do ba do 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 do. Ba do ba do 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 do. It would start out at that, and about halfway through it would be going do ba do ba do 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 do. Ba ba do ba do do do. Ba ba do ba do. Anyway, that's what I mean by going up to 200 beats a minute. Now, all the while, this is back to the story now. All the while, Butkie yelling at Ray, "You're rushing the beat, goddammit!" And Ray yelling back, "No, I'm not. You're rushing the goddamn beat." Well, the gig just fell apart. People stayed off the dance floor. After about 30 minutes, we were fired, and another band walked in, set up, and was playing within 10 minutes. Their drummer was a guy about 65 years old who wasn't fancy, but short of a bomb hitting the building and blowing it up, he kept time like a metronome. The one and only gig I ever got fired from during the gig in my whole life. Now back to the AmVets in Frackville. Butkie was feeling his oats this evening. He successfully fell down 2 flights of stairs, impressed the hell out of everybody, and now here comes the grand finale. Get this, it is about 20 degrees outside. Butkie takes off his overcoat, suit jacket, shirt, and undershirt. He's bare-chested on the street. There's a house next to the AmVets that has a half cellar, which means the front porch is about 2 feet higher than if we're at street level. He jumps up, grabs hold of the banister rail, and goes into a handstand. There's an old lady sitting there on her porch swing, 20-degree weather. She must have been nuts. But when she saw him strip down and do a handstand on her porch rail, she stood up immediately and walked into the house, knowing full well she really was nuts. End of the story. Tommy Butkiewicz, a real character, a real Renaissance man. But anyway, there's your story for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm happy to do this for you because I just want to give you a little enjoyment. You can take a break from whatever you're doing and watch one of these and have a little laugh and feel, maybe a little different than before you watched it. So anyway, if you could do me a favor, I'd appreciate it if you would share this with anybody and all your friends, and let's get this site up to 100,000 so we have a lot of people enjoying things like this, and at no cost to them. You just go on and watch it. And of course, if you want to buy the book, you go on my website, therealronmiscavige.com, and you can buy either True Confessions of a Kid or Hideouts for Midgets on the Lam. Anyway, that's your story for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm Ron Miscavige for Storytime. I will see you on the next episode. Bye-bye for now.